Hi there, and welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK for more action figure breaking news. And today there is some quite big news in the toy community. So before we get into it, if you could hit that like button, leave your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and why not consider joining the channel membership? And it is 2 p.m. here in the UK as I record this. I happen to have the week off work, and I should be working on this unit behind me, putting some figures on the shelf. But there has been such big breaking news, I've had to stop in my tracks and recall, I should say, this breaking news video. So what has happened? Has hell frozen over? Well, it could have done, according to some YouTubers and the internet there, because apparently Hasbro was losing a license. The license was long gone for Disney brands, for Marvel, and for Star Wars. And it seems the internet might have been wrong. There's a surprise. So, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. If we go over here to Yahoo Finance, you can see the big Hasbro logo there because they have signed, as of today, a multi-year extension to the Disney licenses. So, therefore, Star Wars and Marvel. So, it has happened. And I'm not surprised at all. No, I am not surprised at all that this has happened. Surely this was like Thanos. This was inevitable. It was always going to happen. I couldn't see Hasbro wanting to lose that license. Surely they must make enough money from the Disney brands that they had to try and re-sign it. Maybe not as much as they used to with some of the previous sales, but there was no way they'd want to be giving up that license, surely. And I'm sure the royalties are very nice for Disney themselves. They wouldn't want to be forming any other relationship. So in those comments below, let me know what you think of this breaking news. Are you surprised? Did you think the Marvel license was going? Do you think Todd McFarlane was about to get his claws on the Marvel license? So we've done previous news videos on the channel where, of course, Todd has lost the DC license. That's headed over back to Mattel. Were people out there thinking, oh, Todd might be fishing for this one? But I think that it's a bit of a too big, I would say, for our friend Toddy Mack, the license and the fees you probably have to pay to get in on such a deal with Disney and with the Marvel and Star Wars licenses. So I didn't think that was happening. So who else could have gone for it realistically? Who else realistically could have gone for the Disney licensing? I don't think there's really anybody out there. Maybe Bandai internationally, but I couldn't see them want to do anything in sort of stateside on it. So who else could have practically had the Marvel license? I don't think there's anybody out there, as I say, apart from Mattel. And if you go back on the channel again, you will see previous breaking news from Mattel, of course, getting the DC license. And not only the DC license, we've already covered this on the channel. Major breaking news in my favorite toy line, which is Mattel and the WWE license. That has had a multi-year extension. So if Mattel are doing DC and they're doing WWE, I cannot see them doing Marvel. Almost a conflict of interest there, potentially, with the Disney brands, with the DC and the Marvel there. So it had to be Hasbro. It just had to be Hasbro. So don't always believe everything you hear on the internet. There are some sensible toy collectors out there, like this idiot. I don't know if I describe myself as sensible, but I collect a lot of toys. And this, well, it's an absolute no-brainer to me that this actually was going to be happening, but it has happened. And we go back over there to the press release then here from Yahoo Finance. As you can see, what does it say here? From Pawtucket in Rhode Island, we have there, we know Hasbro Incorporated, a leading games IP toy company, announced a multi-year extension to its long-running relationship with Disney Consumer Products, innovative toys and games and premium brands of Star Wars and Marvel. So if I go back over to we go to Marvelous News here, of course, JC, shout out to him, has got this covered already on marvelousnews.com, which is where I initially saw there. So you can see the Disney logo incorporated with the Hasbro logo. So just literally a quick breaking news video from me today to say this has happened. So are you happy about it? Now, there's a lot of DC fans out there that were absolutely distraught that McFarlane lost the DC license because they're going to have to start again effectively with Mattel and going into a brand new DC line. They were happy to continue with the McFarlane brand. I wasn't too sad McFarlane was coming to an end with DC. I think I'm happy to switch over to Mattel. The DC license seems to change hands so often, companies just can't get it right. But the Marvel Legends just seem to get the most stick online, and I really have no idea why. It's the fact I collect around about 75 action figure lines, and it does seem Hasbro get their undue share of sort of stick when it comes to their Star Wars and Marvel brands compared to Mattel and other WWE brands. You just don't hear the sort of a constant complaining, as you will about the Hasbro brands, but it probably could have been worse, people. You could have had McFarlane. Can you imagine McFarlane Marvel Legends? You were in uproar about Hasbro. You would have been in absolute uproar when it comes to McFarlane with the pins and the sculpting and the articulation. I think this is probably the best news you could hope for Marvel. Now, Hasbro, of course, not the perfect company, not a very good company. You've seen how they treat some of their staff with regards to the layoffs and things. So of course, that is not a good situation to be in, but it is big business, unfortunately. And I think once you get in there, you kind of know what you're getting yourself in for if you're working for a big corporation like that, because it does come down to bottom line. But in terms of the quality of the products, I've always been happy with my Marvel Legends. Of course, there is always room for improvement, adding in that pinless technology, but at least they've started adding in that pinless technology. I've been collecting McFarlane full of pins, so their distribution, be it not amazing at times, it's getting better than Mattel's when it comes to, for the purpose of international collectors like myself, a load of the exclusives will come over to the UK no problem at all, whereas you just wouldn't be getting that through Mattel. They don't bring those exclusives over. And McFarlane's distribution, again, absolutely terrible when it comes to international distribution. So Hasbro definitely have the distribution chain up their sleeve. So I'm happy to see it continue from that point of view. But as I say, get in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Are you happy? Would you have rather it gone somewhere else? If you would have rather it gone somewhere else, who do you think realistically could have handled it? I know a lot of people have said Jada Toys, but I just don't think Jada Toys have got the infrastructure in place to handle something the size of the Disney license encompassing Star Wars and Marvel. But it's been a very consistent line. So Marvel Legends now over 20 years for Marvel Legends, and I've been collecting for, well, over 20 years myself when it comes to that line now. So it's probably the most consistent action figure toy line out there, along with WWE from Mattel, is the Marvel Legends. Would you really want to start again when it comes to Marvel Legends, or are you happy to stick with what you got? The grass isn't always greener on the other side. I think this is a situation because it's been so long. We've literally had Toy Biz, and then we had Hasbro, and it's been that long. It's been such a consistent line. The longest line has to be, I think, for modern action figures out there. So to start again with a different company, I don't know. At this point, I think a lot of collectors would just be purely out, and like that's it. That would be the end of Marvel Legends. So the fact that it's continuing with Hasbro gives you the chance to increase those collections over the years. But I personally am happy about this news, and I'm not surprised by this news. So are you happy? Are you surprised? Are you very annoyed? Well, that's what the comment section is for. So get down in that comment section. I'll get this video up as quick as I can, and I will get back to trying to put some figures on the shelf. So ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK with major Hasbro breaking news.